Let's talk about purpose. What are you trying to get out of this monster whisperer thing anyway?
Monsters wanna talk to me. No quarter drawn, but lawyers on a crimson sea.
Happy New Year, fellow monster whisperers. I hope your 2023 is off to a great start. It was New Year's Day and I was out on my morning walk with our dog, thinking back over the last few weeks. I've had messages of thanks and encouragement from some of you, which I'm grateful for. I've also had the chance for some one-on-one conversations with some of you as well. I appreciate the sincerity and interest you all are showing in this thing we're exploring together. This thing. Probably a good way to describe it. On a couple of occasions from some business-minded whisperers, I was asked, what are your plans for this monster whisperer thing? What are you trying to get out of it? Great questions, and I really appreciate them being asked. To be clear, the tone of the conversations was around a curiosity for what might come and a desire to help clarify vision, the way you would expect successful business people to think. And so their questions got me to start to think. Today I want to share those thoughts with you. Let's start at the beginning. I assume all of you are familiar with my TEDxBozeman talk by now called Dear Monster, I Love You. My apologies if I bring it up too much, but I am proud of it, and it does mark somewhat of a defining moment for me. I put a lot of myself out there during that talk. It was the most vulnerable I've ever been in public and felt more like an art opening to me than some major speaking thing. What do I mean by that? The art shows I've had are culminations of time spent exploring new ideas. By the time of the opening, the work is all done. The only thing left to do is give the final pieces over to the world for their consideration. What I found for myself is I get much more out of the process of creating art than I do from the opening. I appreciate comments on how my work is received, and that feedback is important, but the dance is over. My partner, whatever form the muse took during that work, is gone until the next round of exploration begins again. That's how this talk felt to me. So much was put into the process of crafting it, so much was explored back and forth with multiple speaker coaches and colleagues, so much was edited and refined, that by the evening of the talk, my work was done. The only thing left to do was give the final piece over to the world for their consideration. And you did consider it, in a very cool and powerful way, in a way that was what I had hoped for but wasn't exactly expecting. The feedback confirmed this was a message that needed to be shared. But we couldn't let it end there. Just hearing the message wasn't good enough. After all, this monster whispering thing is a process of listening and responding. It's not a fixed moment in time, it's a conversation over time. More specifically, it needs to be a dialogue between our outer selves and our inner selves, who we've thought we are and who we actually are. That person that needs to come forward for the world. My identity, your identity. When I got further into exploring my role as an artist, something became clear to me. I realized artists function like translators. We can tune into concepts or ideas in the ethos that have significance and value to most people, but they may not be able to see on their own. The translation comes in expressing those ideas in a visual form that allows for new understanding. One example is this sculpture I created. I made 7 of these sculptures to be beautiful reflections of our woundedness. It's what I've chosen to explore through my art. Specifically, these small sculptures were created for cathartic ritual. My hope was that people would use them during quiet times of meditation as a way to center their thoughts, possibly confront the ugly wounds of their past, and process them into something of strength and beauty. Some of my work was featured during a church service here in town, and afterwards a couple asked me if they could buy one of these sculptures. They said their adopted daughter had been struggling with her past trauma, really connected with the message of my art and wanted to use the sculpture in this cathartic way. After she picked out her favorite piece, I ended up just giving it to her along with a hug and some words of encouragement. It was an honor to share that moment with that family. I bring all this up because I'm beginning to see parallels between those moments with my art and what we can build as Monster Whisperers. Through the comments and support I've received over the last few months, I've realized the power in this thing is being able to translate these experiences we all share. We all feel this awakening of identity within us and need space to let it take root and grow. So what are you trying to get out of this Monster Whisperer thing? I'm creating a space for our identities to take root and grow because we are better and our world is better when we are able to live fully out of that place of our true identities, monsters and all. We're all learning as we go. We'll struggle and fail. We'll make mistakes. We'll have some wins. I'm still not 100% sure what all of this means or what all of this will look like as we move forward, but it sure sounds like a world I want to be a part of. I look forward to creating it together with you, so I'll keep with my rhythm of posting every 2 weeks, knowing I'm learning as I go, giving a voice and a language to the things we're discovering along the way. Keep sharing your stories and feedback with me, and if you feel so inclined, please share this with your community. Let's see what we can build together. So that's it. That's the direction. 2023, off and running. All the best to you in the new year. Keep rocking and keep whispering.
Monsters wanna talk to me.